ब्रह्मा पुरुषोत्तम पुण्यनाम सीताराम पूर्ण ब्रह्मा रघुकुलाब्धे पूर्णचन्द्रमा रघुकुलाब्धे पूर्णचन्द्रमा रजनीचर समर भीम अगणित गुणगणाधाम अखिल लोक क्षेम धाम अखिल लोक क्षेम धाम पूर्ण ब्रह्मा पुरुषोत्तम पुण्यनाम सीताराम पूर्ण ब्रह्मा इंद्रनील घनश्यामा इंद्रनील घनश्यामा इंदिरामनोधिरामा वृन्दारकमुनिललामा वृन्दारकमुनिललामा वन्दनीय भक्त प्रेम वन्दनीय भक्त प्रेम पूर्ण ब्रह्मा पुरुषोत्तम पुण्यनाम सीताराम पूर्ण ब्रह्मा अक्षरेड्य आप्तकामा अक्षरेड्य आप्तकामा सूक्ष्म स्थूल कृता नियमा अक्षरेड्य आप्तकामा सूक्ष्म स्थूल कृता नियमा लक्ष्मीनारायण सुगम लक्ष्मणाग्रज जायते नमः पूर्ण ब्रह्मा पुरुषोत्तम पुण्यनाम सीताराम पूर्ण ब्रह्मा
सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. We will chant yesterday's chapter, third chapter, empowerment. मानवपुरुषार्थः सीमितः सर्वशक्तिमत् ईश्वरस्य अनुग्रहेण तु स लक्षगुणो भवति तस्मात् तमेवाश्रित्य पुरुषार्थः कर्तव्यः तेनैव जीवनं वस्तुतः शोभनं दिव्यं सुखमयं च भवति श्रेयांसि बहुविघ्नानि इति प्रसिद्धम् तदा निराशा निरुत्साह आदिदोषान् उत्सृज्य धैर्यं च आत्मविश्वासं च दृढीकुर्वन् साधनमार्गे अग्र एव प्रस्थितव्यम् भवतु लौकिकसमस्यानां समाधानं तु आध्यात्मिकदृष्ट्यैव एवं कर्मनिरतः अवश्यमेव सफलतां प्राप्नोति व्यष्टिसमष्टिरूपेण सफलतापि द्विविधा तयोर्मध्ये सामञ्जस्यम् अस्तु अन्यथा अनर्थः भवतु सर्वभूतहितकरा सफलता. Yes. So in this third chapter, these verses say that human efforts, they have limitations, but by the grace of God, anything is possible. Lot of difficulties will come when we are striving towards the goal. But then how should we handle it? Don't get into dejection, depression, etc. Holding on to God, gaining strength, confidence, courage, etc. One must move forward. And how must we see the worldly problems? We should see in the light of spiritual knowledge. Thus we will definitely attain success. Again, success, it is of two kinds. What are they? At the individual level and also at the total level. So we should have the bigger picture in mind. The success should be such that when we succeed, others also should be benefited. Then that is real success. Now we will come to the next chapter, which is called Workable Tips. So each of these verses, they are independent. Let us first chant them. Verse number 1. Vishramam vina parishramo na karaniyaha tathaiva cha karyam vina vishramaha vicharahinam karma तथा कर्महीनो विचारश्च विफलतायाः कारणं प्राप्तस्य उपेक्षायां तथा अप्राप्तस्य अपेक्षायां दुःखस्य सुरक्षा ग्रहदशापेक्षया मनोदशा समीक्षणीया कर्मभागः स्व अधीनः फलभागस्तु प्रकृतिवश इति विजानीयात् तस्मात् यत् स्वाधीनं तत्स्वेनैव कृत्वा अन्यस्य चिन्ता परिहर्तव्या यथा भोजनं स्वेनैव क्रियते Vachanam tu prakritya. Yes, so this chapter is a smaller one. Only 7 sutras are there. Now let us take the first one. What does it say? Na karaniyaha. These things should not be done. What are the things which should not be done? Vishramam vina parishramah. Vishramam vina parishramah. And karyam vina vishramah. These are the 2 things which should not be done. What does it mean? Simple Sanskrit. Vishramam vina parishramah. Work without rest. Parishramah means work. Vishramam means rest. Work without rest and karyam vina vishramah. Rest without work. Na karaniyaha. Should not be done. So let us take the Tamasic one. What is the Tamasic one? Resting without working. So these are the 2 extremes you will find. There are people in the society who only rest and they don't work. This is one extreme. Tamasic extreme. What is the other one? They only work, they don't rest. Workaholic people. They are the other extreme. Rajasic people. So neither be tamasic nor be rajasic. Be sattvic. The first one is tamasic people. What do? They only rest. They don't like work. See, every one of us, we have certain philosophy about life. Philosophy about life means, according to you, what is your understanding about happiness in life? This is philosophy of life. What do you think will give you happiness? Each and every one of us, we have certain philosophy, right? And how do you come to this philosophy? Through your own experiences. You go through certain experience, you analyze those experience, and in the light of that experience, you come to certain conclusion about life, and that's what we call the philosophy of life. So every one of us, we have certain ideas of what is happiness. So according to a tamasic person, what is happiness? Now he is also analyzing life. So he finds that whenever I sleep well, I am happy. So what is the source of happiness? Sleep is the source of happiness. Whenever I take rest, I feel relaxed, relieved. So therefore, resting is the source of happiness. Whenever I work hard, I get tired. So therefore, work is not the source of happiness, right? Whenever I take responsibility and people complain about me, I am miserable. Therefore, not taking responsibility is the source of happiness. You understand? So through his own analysis of life, maybe superficial, but he has analyzed, and therefore he has concluded that not working, sleeping, idling away one's time is the source of happiness. So once you have a certain kind of philosophy in life, you will live according to that philosophy. Whatever is your understanding about life, your life will express it through your actions. So what will such person do? He don't want to work, but unfortunately what to do? There is something called hunger and thirst. That Mother Nature has injected into every one of us. So therefore helplessly he is whipped into action. Right? You will find people saying, oh, he is such a lucky fellow. He has to only work 1 hour a day and he is getting full salary. The person who is telling this, understand he is a tamasic person. The one who says that he is such a lucky fellow, he need not work at all, he is getting paid. What does it mean? He is valuing, isn't it? Non-action. Sometimes we hear people saying, oh, once we get retired, isn't it? While you are in service, you look forward for retirement. And they think after retirement, we will have nice time. It is only a myth. It's an illusion. When you are in the service, when you have responsibilities, you think because of responsibilities, I am not happy. When I am relieved of all responsibilities, I will be happy. Remember, it is a Tamasic vision. Nobody can be happy just because they are not working or just because they don't have responsibility. Impossible. And what happens after retirement? This person doesn't know how to spend time. And there are very many people who have taken another job just to kill time because they don't know what to do with their time. Isn't it? So it's a myth that no work means happiness. It's not like that. In Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says, Niyatam kuru karmatvam karma jyayo hya karmanaha. Action is far better than inaction. Why? Because, what is the next line? Sharira yatra pichate na prasiddhyet akarmana. Even to maintain this body, you will have to work. Even to keep this body in a healthy condition, you will have to work. Isn't it? Good health is necessary. Even to maintain that good health, you will have to work. Very many people, they don't exercise. Later on, after 50, 60, when the doctors say, you have now blood pressure, sugar, you have to walk, then this old man starts walking. Till then, he never exercised. Early morning, you will find people. When the warning signal comes from the God, then we have to work. So God has made enough arrangements to keep us busy, to be active. So this is one Tamasic aspect, thinking that no work is happiness. It is wrong. Then what about the other extreme? What is the other extreme? Too much of work. Now he also has his own philosophy. Why is he working hard? His philosophy is, when you work hard, you make a lot of money, and money is the source of all happiness. When you work hard, you are successful in life, and that success brings in name and fame. That is the source of happiness. And he is also right in his own way, because he sees who are the people who enjoy life. The people who are rich, who are famous, who are influential, correct? Successful. They are the ones who are happy in life. So therefore, this philosophy makes him active. Therefore, he also becomes very, very busy, to such an extent that he has no time at all. Time at all for anything else, whether it is exercise or prayer or meditation, he has no time. Even for food, he has no time. He has no time for even with his family also. When he comes back from the office, he brings the file also along with him. Right? They are called as workaholic people. The greatest punishment you can give them is ask them to keep quiet for 5 minutes. They can't even think of it. Right? This is another extreme. There are very many people who believe that people who are busy, they are the most successful people. This idea is there in the society. Somewhere I was reading this. How to give an impression. How to give an impression to others that you are very successful, you are very dynamic, energetic. How to give an impression like this? Especially in the business community, it is needed. How to give an impression to the customer that your business is really flourishing well and you are a very, a master in the trade. How to give an impression? Some of the points were seen. How to make your customer believe that you are really successful. So suppose the customer has given you the appointment time, say 11 o'clock, 11 a.m. In your mobile, set reminders every 5 minutes. Right? Say 11:05, 11:10, 11:15. Every time the reminder should ring. Reminder or alarm, whatever. Now the customer will not know whether it is alarm or whether it is a phone call or whether it is a reminder. He will not know anything. He will only see the mobile ringing. And whenever we see the mobile ringing, what do we think? Somebody is calling, isn't it? Now this fellow has said himself. So then immediately you should say, please excuse me for a minute, and he should say, and then he should start talking. And how he should talk? He should name all the possible rich countries in the world. Yeah, last week only I just came from Singapore and all that. May create an impression, and that customer will feel, oh my God, this person is a gem. He has business contacts everywhere, US, UK, Singapore, he is naming everything. At the same time, your laptop must be open, and so many folders must be kept open. Lot of files should be there, here, there, etc. Books should be open here and there. And you just tell some 4-5 people to keep asking 1 or 2 simple questions. So they will keep coming, knocking the door. Sir, excuse me, sir, such a person is waiting. What should I say? Etc., etc. And also, these are the tips given for you, okay? And then you must have lot of photos with what you call famous dignitaries, or what you call internationally famous people. I recently went to a place, to a hotel. They had called me for Bhiksha. I just went there. That person was sitting there. And over his table, I saw one photo. He was posing with Al Gore, the Vice President of America. I said, did you go to US? Yeah, I went to US. Did you meet Al Gore? No, it is a Photoshop. He has not met. One Al Gore's photo and his photo, Photoshop. Now, the photo is Al Gore is smiling, holding his hand, and then both of them are, as though he is very much related to or intimately connected to these people. So keep such photos here and there. Nowadays, Photoshop is not an easy, difficult thing. Create such an impression, and that customer is gone. Right? What I am trying to say is, generally people have this notion that you are successful only if you have contacts with influential people. You are successful only if you are busy. Another technique is, whenever you walk, you should walk fast. As a very, serious appointment is there with someone, and you have no time to waste. These are the techniques given. And of course it is true, you try all this, you will be considered very successful in the society. You will be respected in the society. You will be considered a great man. Isn't it? Anyway, coming back to the topic, what does this verse say? These are all foolishness, right? Don't work too much without giving rest to the body. So what is the ideal way of living? Ideal way of living is, as Bhagavad Gita says, Yuktahara viharasya, Yukta cheshtasya karmasu, Yukta swapnavabodhasya, Yogo bhavati dukkhaha. Be yukta in everything, moderate in everything. Whether eating, whether sleeping, whether work, recreation, entertainment, everything should be moderate. If you are moderate in everything, then yoga becomes dukkhaha, the destroyer of dukkham, sorrow. This is the tip given. Body needs rest, give rest. Mind also needs rest. How to rest the mind? Of course, in the sleep, your mind gets rest, but consciously resting the mind is done through meditation. Meditation is the right way in which you give conscious rest to the mind. We must have time for all. We must have time for daily exercise. Physical exercise, we must have time, because body has to be kept fit and healthy. If the body is not fit and healthy, your mind will always think of the pain, the suffering, the disease which the body is suffering from. So therefore, body has to be kept healthy. Many people think spirituality means not taking care of the body, because I am not the body. These are all nonsense. You must take care of your body. Keep it healthy. Body has to be kept fit. At the same time, mind also should be kept fit. What is fit mind? A sattvic mind is a fit mind. A peaceful mind, a cheerful mind is a fit mind. So mind and body has to be kept healthy, and if you want your body and mind to be healthy, your whole routine of the day should be well planned. There should be time for everything. That is called wise living. Fine. So this is the first verse. Now let us see the second one. What does it say? Vicharhinam karma tatha karmahino vicaraha vifalatayaha karanam. The cause of failures, there are two. What are they? Number one, vicharhinam karma, thoughtless actions. The second one, karmahino vicharaha, actionless thoughts. Thoughtless actions and actionless thoughts are the cause of failures in life. Again, you will find here two types, rajas and tamas. So what is tamas? Actionless thought is tamas. He keeps on daydreaming, has lot of plans and ideas, but lazy enough to put forth those ideas into practice. This is one case of failure. Now let us first take up this case. Normally we find it in student life. So when the year begins or the semester begins, we have a lot of plans. I am going to study this many hours a day. I will get up at such and such time. Only this many hours of TV, whatever. There is a long, scheme of action. But are we able to put it into practice? Maybe 1 or 2 days, gone. Some people take resolution, New Year resolution. In this New Year, it is going to be different. I am going to do this. Nothing happens. So this is called karmahina vichara. Lot of vichara is there, ideas are there, plans are there, schemes are there, but it is not put into practice. There is one nice story in our Indian tradition. A person gets one pot of curd. A very, very lazy person, of course. So he thought, wow, one big pot of curd I have got. So now he started daydreaming. With this pot, I will buy a hen. And that hen will hatch this many eggs. I will allow those eggs to become chicken. And those chicken will grow. And slowly, I will have a poultry farm. And with that poultry farm, I will make a lot of money, more and more hen. And with that money, I will make a big palatial house. And once the house is ready, I should get married. Yes. I will find out one beautiful girl and then I will get married. It's going on. I am cutting the story short. And then after marriage, naturally children will be born. Very cute little children. I will play with the children. I will be very happy. And of course, children while growing up, they become naughty. So I have to beat the children also. Tak! We gave one beating. The pot of curd was there in front. He smashes into pieces. And there it ends. This is called karma. Karmahina vichara. Daydreaming goes on and on and on. Nothing happens. There is a quote which says, if you want to realize your dream, wake up. Don't keep dreaming. If you want to realize your dream, wake up and work for it. Isn't it? Gurudev used to say, plan out your work and work out your plan. The first stage is planning out your work and then working out your plan. Now this is one extreme, Tamasic. Tamasic extreme means they think too much but they don't do anything. And what about the other extreme? Vicharahinam karma. The other extreme, we are talking of rajasic people. What do? They do action but there is no thought behind it. Thoughtless actions. No planning, nothing. They just do it. Many times what happens is they start up some work and then later on they have to pay, they have to face the evil consequences. There was one young army officer, lieutenant. I think that is the first rank they get, lieutenant. So with broad chest, etc., he was going. And then he found that one soldier was walking past, some subedar or somebody of lower rank. He did not salute him. So he felt bad. How is it that some soldier who is of lower rank pass without even saluting me? He said, stop there. How dare you don't salute me? So as a punishment, you have to salute me 200 times. Come on. It's a punishment for you for not honoring a higher ranked officer. So now this poor soldier, actually he did not make that mistake. His attention was somewhere because of that. So then this soldier was ready to salute. How many times? 200 times. At that time, general passed by that way. He asked, what is the matter? So then this young officer said, sir, this person, this ignoramus, he was walking past without even saluting me, insulting me. So then I told him, 200 times you have to salute me. The general said, young officer, do you know the rule? If a junior army man salute you, you will have to reciprocate also. There is also a rule. Every time somebody salutes you, you will have to salute back. So saying, general went. Now this is called vicharahinam karma. Isn't it? Now he will also have to salute 200 times. You are in the soup, as they say. Whenever perform an action, think very well and then perform action. There was a farmer who was cultivating watermelon. So he had a big farm containing a lot of watermelon. They were all ripe, very sweet. So he found that somebody was stealing it every night. So then it's a big farm and it's not possible to keep guard all the time. So then he came up with an idea. Next day, he put one board saying, beware, one of them is poisoned. One of the watermelon is poison. So what was his thought? Maybe since it is poison, nobody will touch it. Beware, one of them is poisoned. Right. One day he found that yes, nobody has taken. He was happy. He congratulated himself for his creative thinking, etc. Next day he found another board. Beware, now there are two. Beware. Beware, now there are two. So somebody else has poisoned another watermelon. This is called vicharahinam karma. Right? One must think of the consequences before we promise something to someone, tell something. Another interesting thing. One person went to a vacuum cleaner salesman. So he knocked the door. One lady opened the door and he just barged in, and one box of dust, he just put it on the carpet. The lady was stunned. What is this fellow doing? This person said, Amma, don't worry. Within 3 minutes, I will clean the whole dust. Otherwise, I will eat the dust. He was so confident. The whole dust, whatever I have put, I will clean it in 3 minutes. Don't worry. Otherwise, I will eat the dust. He was trying to show off how good his product is. This lady asked, would you like to have some chili sauce along with it? This person said, what do you mean? No, there is no current. There is no current. I am just giving examples of vicharahinam karma. Before you promise something, many times people use words and hurt others, and they don't know that they have hurt others. When we speak something, we must also see what will be the, after effects in the minds of others. See, they all need lot of maturity. When you speak something, you have to think, if I speak this, will that person take it negatively? Or will it hurt someone? Or is there a better way of presenting it? There are so many things involved. Right? The aeroplane had just taken off and the pilot is making the announcement. Right? Thank you very much for flying with us. So the plane has just taken off. Thank you very much for flying with us this morning. The weather is, and then there was a pause. The pilot is making announcement through the phone. And he started saying, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. There was a silence. Passengers were stuck. There was a total silence. And then again the pilot came and said, I'm really sorry. Just now one hot cup of tea got poured onto my pants. You should see my pant, the pilot was telling. You should see my pant. Somebody screamed, one passenger, you should see our pants. These are all internet jokes, right? The point is, when you make a comment, you must think what is going to happen in the minds of others. Right? Vicharahinam karma it is called. Vicharahinam. Thoughtless action. So what should be the sattvic way of dealing with it? Naturally, vichara sahita karma. When we speak, we should know what to speak, how much to speak, when to speak, where to speak, whether to speak or not. Many of the problems can be avoided if you just keep quiet. In life, many times you get wide balls. In cricket, there is something called wide ball. Wide ball means what? You don't have to touch, you will get runs. You don't have to touch it. And many people try to hit the wide ball and get caught. Isn't it? In life also, there are many situations which are wide balls. Meaning what? You don't have to do anything, just stand there, keep quiet. They say many of the problems in the society would not have happened if you had kept your mouth closed. And many of the problems would have solved if you just give a smile. These are the two things which can solve most of the problem. One, smile, and the other one is keep your mouth shut. Vicharahinam karma. No, it is easily said than done to say that, think well and then act, etc. But what is the practical way of doing it? See, the practical way of doing it is, if your mind is sattvic, this is easy, otherwise it is not possible. If your mind is pure, if your mind is at peace, you will find the mind is under your control. If your mind is peaceful, mind will be under your control. If the mind is under your control, thoughts are under your control. If the thoughts are under your control, you can choose thoughts. And if you can choose thoughts, you can choose words. Right? And not only you can choose words, you can choose actions. What to do, what not to do, when to do, etc. You can choose. You have a choice. Why do you have a choice? You have a choice because you have choice over thoughts. People who react negatively, instinctively who react, they don't have a choice. They act according to their previous vasanas, inclinations, impressions. They don't have a choice at all. Just like a cow or a dog has no choice, they are pre-programmed. In the same way, a vasana-oriented living, such people will not have any choice. They act according to their vasanas. But when your mind is pure, when your mind is at peace, you have this choice given. So if you have to really put this into practice, vichara sahita karma, actions performed after well thinking, well thought out actions, if you have to do, the first and the foremost thing you have to do is keep your mind peaceful. If your mind is in rajas or tamas, that mind will mislead you 100%. Definitely you will regret for whatever you have done. If you take decisions when the mind is in rajas or tamas, one day or the other you will regret your action. But if you take decisions when your mind is sattvic, then sometimes it may be difficult, no doubt, but definitely you will never regret. Those actions, those decisions taken when the mind is sattvic will be the best. So normally what we suggest is early morning after the meditation, whichever problem is troubling you, take up that problem. When that mind is pure, when that mind is sattvic, after meditation, after prayer, when the mind is very peaceful, your heart is filled with devotion, etc., at that time take up this problem and try to find out what is the best solution. Whatever solution comes at that time, don't change it afterwards. This is a practical solution. Once you have taken the decision, later on when the mind goes into rajas or tamas, the mind will tell you, no, drop that, let us do this. Don't listen. Suppose you do not listen to it, next morning again when the mind becomes sattva, you will regret. Chha! Act in haste, repent in leisure. This will happen. Vicharahinam karma tatha karmahino vicharaha vifalatayaha karanam. When your mind is at peace, you are at your best. When your mind is disturbed, how much ever great you may be, only disturbing actions will come out of you. In one restaurant, the ladies, etc., they were having their meal. At that time, one cockroach comes and flies. And this cockroach comes and lands on one lady. She was drinking her coffee. She started screaming and threw that coffee away. This cockroach again then landed to some other lady. She threw her plates, etc. There was such a tantrum. Right? Ladies were screaming and howling, etc. One small cockroach, that's all. And finally it landed on the waiter. He was having the plate, etc. He was serving. And it just landed on the shoulder. What did the waiter do? He just remained silent. Just didn't do anything, didn't scream. Just composed himself. And then slowly he just caught hold of it, went out, threw it away. Right. What is the message? Message is, when some tragedy strike you, some problem strike you, don't immediately react. Mind will be disturbed, no doubt. Quieten the mind. The first thing to be done is keep your mind quiet. Don't instantly react. Quieten the mind, and once the mind is quietened, then you will start seeing solutions to the problem. When your mind is disturbed, you will never see solutions. You will see only problems and crisis everywhere. Once the mind becomes quiet, you see various kinds of solutions for the same problem. Then start applying it. Right. This is vicharahinam karma and karmahino vicharaha. Now let us go to the next one. What is the next one? Praptasya upekshayam tatha apraptasya apekshayam dukkhasya suraksha. A very important one. You can protect your dukkham. Dukkham means sorrow. How can you protect your sorrow? Do this. Praptasya upeksha. Ignore what you have. Apraptasya apeksha. Long for what you don't have. If you do this, sorrow guaranteed for life. What you have, ignore it. What you don't have, long for it. This is what most of us do. In life, we are miserable only because we don't pay attention to what we have. We only complain about what we don't have. One management guru, he went to a class. There was one white sheet, say white board. There was a white board. He just put a dot there. What do you see? All of this, we see that black dot. This guru laughed and said, the whole white space is there you did not see. You could only see the black dot. Right? What is in majority? The dot or the white space? In the whole white space, you could not see anything but the black dot. This is why you fail in life, he said. You are seeing only the negative aspects of life. There are so many good things happening in the world, you don't see. In a person also, there are so many good virtues, qualities. You don't see any of them. Some negative something is there, your entire attention is upon that. Like these newspaper people. Some great man, some one or two faults, they will highlight only that, as though they don't have any other virtues at all. So this is one of the training to be given to the mind. What is the training to be given? Try to focus on everything what is good, what is positive. It's an ability. We have trained our mind to focus only on the negative things. That is why we are miserable. So Puja Guruji says, Dukkhasya suraksha. If you want to protect, pamper your sorrow, this is the way. Not paying attention to what you have. Paying attention to, or rather complaining about what you don't have. There's a very famous quote which says, I was complaining that I don't have shoes till when I saw someone who did not have legs. It's a very, very, what do you call it? I heard a very interesting story. One person was walking along a very, isolated road. And he was just thinking, if only I could get some taxi or something. A very isolated place. The possibility that there he could get a taxi was almost impossible. He was just wishing that. He was walking. And suddenly, to his luck, he got one taxi. He stopped, he got in, he thanked the taxi driver. Oh, you came at the right time, etc. Then the taxi driver said, you are just like Ramu. What timing? You just decided and it happened. You are just like Ramu. Then this person said, who is this Ramu? Ramu is just like that. A very efficient fellow. Whatever he thinks, that happens. Ramu is indeed great. He could have easily won the Grand Slams and Wimbledon. Such an athletic body he had. And what a personality. He could have easily become the Hollywood and Bollywood actor number one. That was the Ramu. Now this driver is praising about Ramu. Great electrician, plumber, driver, everything he knew. Whatever is happening in the world, he knew everything. Whatever be the field, sports or technology or science, he knew everything. Traffic jam, it was nothing for him. He could navigate his vehicle just like that. But I am a useless fellow. This taxi driver was telling, I am a useless fellow. Ramu is great. I am a useless fellow. If I try to even change one fuse, the entire city will go black. He was praising Ramu like anything. The passenger asked, where did you meet him? The driver said, I never met him. He died. Ramu died. I only married his widow. I married his wife. She only telling me about Ramu. Nobody is laughing. That means you have not understood. What is the topic under discussion? What you have, you don't value. What you don't have, you got it. I don't know Ramu. I have not seen Ramu. Then, I married his wife. Ramu is no more. He is dead. I married his wife. So, this is our attitude. As the saying goes in English, familiarity breeds contempt. The grass on the other side appears green. These are all the verses. God has blessed us with so many abilities, so many talents. We don't pay any attention. We compare ourselves with others and make ourselves miserable. One teacher asked school children, list down the 7 wonders of the world. So we all know what those wonders are. Taj Mahal and Giza Pyramid and what not. So all the children were writing. One small child wrote, you know what? The ability to see, the ability to hear, the ability to smell, taste, touch, the ability to laugh, the ability to love. How many? 7. 7 wonders. Isn't it? Now for us, this is not a wonder at all. We are so used to these things. What is wonder about it? We think that if everyone has it, then there is no wonder. One British officer went to Udiya Baba, a great famous saint in North India. Babaji, show me a wonder. British officer. Those time, India was under British rule. Babaji, show us a wonder. Babaji said, the very fact that, you are walking, talking, laughing, running around. What is this body? It is nothing but the combination of 5 elements. All these 5 elements are inert. It has no life. But now the very fact that the combination of these elements, it is expressing as life. Don't you see any wonder in it? A similar thing happens with Ramana Maharshi also. Somebody asked for a wonder. Ramana Maharshi just showed this. That person did understand. What are you doing? He said, this is the greatest wonder. Thing made of this inert element, it is able to move. But that is not a wonder for us. We take things for granted. A beautiful sunrise, what a wonder it is. But nobody has time to see. The infinite ocean, what a wonder. Isn't it? Only little children wonder. Isn't it? Little twinkle star, how I wonder what you are. Only pure minds can wander into little things. The moment the mind becomes impure with greed for money, name, fame, etc., these wonders will vanish. The lesson to be learned is, what is it? Value for what you have and don't crave for what you don't have. Many times the relationships also become strained because of this. Once a father was traveling with his son in his car. It was a normal car, say Maruti car or something. And then many times some other cars would overtake this small car. So then this boy would say, Father, what is this? Somebody else is overtaking. Go, overtake him. Father said it's not possible. Our car is a very small old car. Those other cars are very, modern. It's not possible. Again the boy would sit quietly. Again when some other car would overtake, again he will say, what is this, father? You are not going fast, etc. 2-3 times this happened. Now the father really got annoyed. He said, son, why don't you see? We are also overtaking many other cars. Why don't you pay attention to those cars which we are overtaking? Why you are only paying attention to those cars which are overtaking us? The boy said, in the same way, my dear father, there are many students who are scoring more than me. You only pay attention to them. You say, why this fellow scored more than you, that fellow scored more than you. But there are very many fellows whom I am able to score more. Yes, there are others fellows who are not scoring as well. You are not paying any attention to them. You are doing the same thing. Praptasya upeksha, apraptasya apeksha. Isn't it? Compare. I compare my child with some other child and then create tension. Now there is only tension, worry, stress. If your son is doing good, that is enough. If he is studying hard, he is putting forth effort, yes, that is enough. Whatever percentage score, that is not the important thing. The important thing is he is studying. How much ever he can, he is doing. Why do you compare? Isn't it? But this is what we do. God has given us so many things, but our attention is always upon those things which we don't have. People who have this attitude, oh God, you have given me so many things, thank you. That grateful attitude, those who cultivate, they are the most happiest people in this world. Happiest people are not the billionaires and millionaires, no. Happiest people are those who pay attention to what they have and who are grateful to God. Such people become contented, and contentment is the greatest treasure, greatest wealth in this world. Recently in Singapore, they had conducted one event. This event was mainly to raise fund for blind children. So around 40 people participated in the event. They all gathered. So there was some PowerPoint presentation, etc. So it was an institute. Some blind children were there. So after the event, in the night, there was this dinner. And the dinner was a special kind of dinner. The topic given was dining in the dark. Just to make people have a feel of what these blind people undergo. So the program was dining in the dark. So they had been told, so this dinner you will be having in total darkness, but you will be guided by 3 blind children. The 3 children are going to guide you. So they switched off the main light. The main switch was switched off. It was total darkness, pitch darkness everywhere. These 40 delegates were there. And these delegates were beautifully guided by 3 blind children. So they were made into batches and they were made to sit before the dining table. And the way they guided them, once they were seated, announcement was made. See, you will have a plate, but nobody is seeing anything. Right? You will have a plate. Assume that your plate is a clock. Now we will tell you the different numbers, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, what all things are present on your dining table. So they said, at 12 o'clock, you will have a spoon kept. At 2 o'clock, there is an empty glass. At 3 o'clock, there is another spoon. At 6 o'clock, there is a napkin. At 9 o'clock, there is a fork. Right? And now, you will be served 5-course meal. In the beginning, you will get water or orange juice. Choice is yours. You may take either water or orange juice. Now, how will you know? The jar with, plain walls is water. If you want water, take it. One more jar will come, jar with curved walls. It is orange juice. Okay? Take whichever you want, other thing you just pass it off. Now you have to pour from this jar into the glass. Empty glass is given. Now how will you know whether the glass is full or not? Place your forefinger on the top and then pour. The moment the liquid touches your finger, understand it is full, stop pouring. This way little details were given because it's all dark, and beautifully the whole event was conducted. These three children, they perfectly did that, what you call, event management. 5-course meal. So first there is a welcome drink, and then there is an appetizer, then there is a starter, then there is a main menu, and in the end dessert. 5-course meal. It is said these children did such a wonderful job. All are blind. These people can't see because of darkness. Those children, they can't see because they were blind. And it is said those delegates who had opted for vegetarian food, they were given vegetarian. Those who had opted for non-veg, they were given non-veg, because they had already registered in the online what kind of meal you prefer and all that. Everything was beautifully done. It was around 1.5 hours of what you call experimentation, and then finally they switched on the main light. Everything went off smoothly. People went away with tears in their eyes. There is a way of what you call living a life of gratitude, and there is a way of complaining also, isn't it? These blind children, recently I had gone to Shimoga in one of the blind school. You will not believe the way they sang bhajans. It's a blind school. So they had invited me for a talk. Those children sang bhajans so beautifully. Someone was playing on tabla, someone was playing on harmonium. And they were singing from the depth of their heart with so much of love, so much of devotion, so much of humility was seen in them. Obedience, discipline, everything was seen in them. So well trained, all of them blind children. And the way they were going in one line, serving the food, sitting in line, saying prayers before taking food, and after taking food also again saying prayers. It was heart-touching. They were far more evolved than these metropolitan cities fellows. The kids, pampered, full of arrogance. They were far more evolved. What a sweet personality they had. So one thing is very clear. What we have is not important. How we use what we have, that is more important. There's a very famous entertainer called Jimmy Durant, somewhere in 1940s, 50s. Very famous entertainer he was. So once he was requested to address this World War II veterans, soldiers who had participated in the World War but retired now. So he was asked to address. He said, I am very busy, I have no time. He said, please, just for 5 minutes you just address them. That is enough. Just entertain them, do some monologue, make them happy, and then you can go. Ultimately he agreed. He came, all these soldiers were sitting, old people. So he had promised that he would perform only for 5 minutes. But when he came to the stage, there was a great applause. He started performing. 5 minutes. He could not stop. Applause was increasing. 5 minutes. He went on 10 minutes, 15, 20, 25. At last, 30th minute, he gave one more last performance, bowed down to everyone and left. So as he was going, the person who was at the door, he said, sir, you had told you will perform only for 5 minutes. Why did you extend? Then he said, there was one touching scene which happened when I was performing. Looking at them, I just could not stop. Looking at their joy, I could not stop. And what was it? In the front row, 2 people were seated. And each of them, they had lost one hand. One person had lost left hand, the other person had lost the right hand. And when I was performing, they were clapping. How they were clapping? One hand each, they were clapping. By looking at this, I just could not stop. Looking at their joy. So I went on. What a nice incident, isn't it? There is no hand, but they are celebrating. So it is definitely possible for all of us. One person was just watching a child without a leg. He was watching football game. He did not have any leg. He was on crutches. So he went and asked, "My dear child, don't you feel bad that you don't have legs and these children are playing football? Don't you feel bad?" This child asked a counter question to this person. "Don't you feel bad that you don't have wings?" He said, "No." "Why?" I have accepted it that I don't have wings." "Yes, in the same way, I have accepted that I don't have legs. That's all. I have taken it as a prasad from God." This is what the boy said. So definitely it is possible for all of us to pay attention to what we have and ignore what we don't have. It is said that in IITs, suicide rates are increasing. Year by year, suicide rates are increasing in Indian Institute of Technology. Can you believe? What should be the cause? They are all brilliant brains, no doubt about it. If you want to get into IIT, it's not a joke. The one mistake they have done is this one. Throughout their lifetime, from the first standard till pre-degree, they were first in the class. They were high scorers. So naturally they have this ego that I am the best, the most brainy. But the moment they get into IIT, what happens? The best brains all over India, they are there. Naturally you will not be the best. Now this fellow has found happiness by comparing and defeating and competing, etc. Now what happens there? The same brain works the same way, because how you have trained your mind, that way only it will work. This fellow has gained joy by competing and defeating others. The mind will function same way there also. There what you find? You are the lowest. Though you are the lowest, you are still good only, isn't it? For a car which is going at 400 km per hour, if another car goes by with 500 km per hour, and if this driver is paying attention only to that car, what will he find? He will find as though his car is going back 100 km per hour, isn't it? It's a relative velocity. In the same way, when you compare, this is what happened in IIT also. They are great brains, but they are comparing themselves with someone who is more brilliant than them. And then they feel dejected, they feel depressed. Lot of pressure is there also from the parents. And ultimately, they commit suicide. Praptasya upekshayam tatha apraptasya apekshayam dukkhasya suraksha. Next one. Graha dasha apekshaya manodasha samikshaniya. More important than graha dasha is manodasha. There are very many people who consult astrologers even before getting out of the house. At what time should I go out? What time should I come in? If they are doing something, they will consult which is Rahu Kala, this Kala, that Kala and all that. Such people are there. I am not criticizing astrology, but they give too much of importance to these things. What does the verse say? What should be given more importance? Manodasha, the state of the mind. That's more important. Deenabandhu Devasthanam, Indiranagar Chinmaya Mission Temple. I hope you know, those who know. One of the most active centers in the whole world. That's the one. That is where Puja Swami Brahmanji is staying. Deenabandhu Devasthanam. It was consecrated in 1978 by Puja Gurudev, Swami Chinmaya. And it is said, the time when Swamiji landed, it was Rahu Kala. Consecration ceremony was going to be performed, and somebody says, Swamiji, it cannot be performed because now Rahu Kala is there, another 1 hour you have to wait. Gurudev said, no waiting. During Rahu Kala, the idol was consecrated. Can you believe? He said, you remember God, every Kala is Shubha Kala only. That's it, over. One thing you have to do is remember God. Holding on to Him, any time is auspicious time only. Now see, people were suspicious. They had their own doubts. No, such bad omen, that, this, etc. Nothing happened. Everything is happening perfectly well. As I said, that is one of the most active centers even now in the whole world, as far as Chinmaya Mission centers are concerned. There are some others who have this, what you call, fear of evil spirits. So they tie so many things here, there, etc. Scared of evil spirits. That's another category of people. They think that if they tie this, then they are protected. It may be true, I am not saying. But one thing, more important than the external evil spirit, is the evil in you, in your own mind. Only those people whose minds are weak, they alone are affected by the evil spirits, if at all they exist. To give an example, suppose you go to some other city, you are looking for a house, and you got a house, you enter there, you are there for say maybe 1 week, and then somebody tells you, do you know, in this room, somebody has committed suicide. That person has hung himself from the fan. This room nobody takes in the whole locality. Everybody knows, and they have seen evil spirits roaming around in this room. Suppose such a virus has been injected into you in the night before you go to sleep. You will see the fan. What will you remember? Isn't it? Now what happens is you start thinking about it over and over again. How that person has committed suicide and what all things he must have used. Which is the chair which he has used. Which is the table he has used. Which must be the rope. Meditating on that suicide case. In the night, suppose you hear some sound. 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. What is the first thing which will strike you? Isn't it? That person has said that the evil spirit is roaming around. Definitely it is the same. Your mind will start projecting. It will have its vivid imagination because that's how you meditated. You meditate upon evil things. So therefore the mind is full of evil things. So naturally an evil mind will project only an evil situation. This is what happens. So what has to be taken care? Your own thoughts. Keep your thoughts pure. Nothing will happen to you. There are very many instances where Gurudev had to stay in haunted houses because nobody was willing to give house to Swamiji. So then somebody would say, Swamiji, there is one house, a big bungalow is there, somebody committed suicide there, so nobody stays there, full of all this, what is that, cobwebs and all that. Will you take that place? Gurudev would say, no problem. And he would go there. No, but evil spirits, I am much more powerful than these evil spirits, he would say. And he would stay comfortably there for 7 days. Nothing would happen to him. Remember, our own minds, we alone have the permission to pollute. What you think solely depends upon you. Keep your mind pure. Nothing can touch you. Graho dasha, mano dasha. Sometimes people have great faith in this black cat crossing the road. And they say, oh, something bad is going to happen. Now see, suppose you have faith in this. That when black cat crosses the road, something evil is going to happen. Remember one thing, from that time onwards, you will start focusing only on negative things. Because in the morning, black cat has crossed, something is definitely going to happen. What is going to happen, I don't know. Now what has happened? Your mind is only focused on negative things, and definitely you will start seeing negative things only. Isn't it? A radio will sing the song to the station which it has tuned. Now your mind has tuned to the negative, naturally you will see all negative, and in the end you will say, Dekha, that is what has happened. I knew when that black cat crossed, I knew something bad is going to happen. See. So many good things might have happened. It just passed away from your attention. You see only the negative things. This is a psychology, that's all. Isn't it? Train your mind to see everything good, you will see only good things. Black cat has crossed, so what? If at all you have fear, chant the name of Lord. 100 times you chant and then walk. You will find that nothing happens. This I have tested it, therefore I can tell you. Nothing will happen. You can be confident. Once your mind is positively charged, you will see only positive things everywhere. As your thoughts, so will be the world appear to you. As your thoughts, so will be the world formed around you. They are all laws. Everything depends on manodasha, not on grahadasha. Right? Moving forward. Karma bhagaha swa adhinaha. This is the next topic. Falabhagastu prakritivashaha iti vijaniyat. So there are two things in life. One is performance of action. The second is results. So what is in our control? Actions are in our control. What about the results? They are not in our control. It is in the control of nature. Laws of nature will decide what kind of results you are going to get. Tasmat yat swa adhinam tat svenaiva krutva anyasya chinta parihartavya. Therefore, whatever is in your hand, whatever is in your control, do your best. Don't worry about the results. Results are going to be decided by innumerable factors. That is not in your hand. So therefore, give up worrying about those results. Perform your action to your best. One example is given. Yatha bhojanam svenaiva kriyate pachanam tu prakritya. Just like you eat food. Isn't it? What to eat, how much to eat, etc. you decide. But after eating, will you worry about digestion also? No. It has to happen according to the laws of nature. In the same way, in life, give up all worries and anxieties regarding the future, regarding the results. Results are definitely connected to action. If your actions are good, results also will be good. And moreover, what? What is the first verse of Upadesha Sara? Karturajñaya prapyate phalam karma kim param karma tajjadam. Karturajñata phalam prapyate. Who is the one who decides what kind of result should come to you? It is the Lord. Omniscient Lord decides. Isn't it? Omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent God, He is the one who gives you results. He will never be unjust. So what you deserve, you will get it. With that faith, you put forth your best. Best actions will necessarily give best results. But while putting forth action, may you not worry about the future. Because if you worry about the future, the present action becomes inferior, because actions done with a disturbed mind naturally will have to be inferior. Inferior actions will give only inferior results. So may you not pollute your present with the worries of the future. This is another tip. Right. So thus this chapter gets over. So many workable tips are given. Tomorrow we will see harmony in relationships. How to have harmony in a relationship. That we will see tomorrow. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ।